Welcome back. After studying her for a while, I'm bringing you the ultimate guide to maximizing Yuki's damage. Yuki's entire kit revolves around an effect called Inspiration. Basically, Inspiration activates an additional effect on a card only if it was moved to your hand by an ability. This could be from other cards or from an effect like a partner's ability or equipment. In general, you will hear a lot of bad things about Yuki, but in my humble opinion, she's actually quite good. Her pros are that Yuki has excellent AoE damage, which makes her amazing for farming. Her cards are pretty cheap to play for the amount of damage they do, and she helps you cycle through your deck much faster. As for her cons, her single target damage just isn't there. Don't try to take her to boss fights unless you have a dedicated build for it. She can be very inconsistent if you have terrible luck with your hand draws, and she depends a lot on having deck manipulators on the team, which isn't necessarily bad, but it does limit her options a bit. As for her partners, those would be Lillian and Westmacott. Lillian's passive gives Yuki a damage boost, and her active skill deals damage to all enemies while also letting you draw a Yuki card that costs 1 or 0. Westmacott on the other hand also provides a damage increase, but her active skill lets you discard a card and then draw one of Yuki's cards. You can use this to get rid of a curse card or another useless card in your hand, or if you select one of Yuki's cards, you're essentially activating her inspiration effect. So who should you choose? If you are free to play, go for Lillian. And if you're a goldfish, dolphin, octopus, or whatever, still go for Lillian. Westmacott doesn't really offer a significant enough improvement for Yuki to justify using her over Lillian. Plus, she's a very niche partner. I only got her for my collection and because Maylin is already using Lillian. Let's talk about her starting cards. Longsword Slash is whatever. You could delete it from your deck if you want. Rapid Slash on the other hand is more interesting and in my opinion a bit underrated. Sure, it has a cost of 2, but it has phenomenal single target damage that scales incredibly well with one word, Ray. I know I've been pushing Ray a lot on this channel, but the truth is, this basic card scales really well with her buffs. Flowing Parry. There's nothing to say here, just delete this card. Prepare to Subdue is by far Yuki's most important card. It basically lets you draw one of her cards from anywhere in the deck, except from the cards just this turn, and increases its damage. This is the card you want to duplicate once you have a Divine Epiphany, preferably with a +1 action point bonus, but I never have that kind of luck with my save files. Anyway, the thing are her epiphanies. You can choose the one that feels most comfortable for you, but from my point of view, the last one is what gives Yuki more consistency in long battles. Now for her unique cards, or epiphany cards as they're called now, Flash Slash is a card with decent AoE damage. The first 3 epiphanies are safe options, the other 2 not so much. The 4th epiphany has the ability to make Yuki a bit more single target oriented, and as for the last epiphany, it's ironically the most inconsistent of the 3, since the only way to use it properly would be with this other epiphany from Nia, and yeah, good luck with that. For Trickery Strike, my favorite are the last 2 epiphanies, but especially the 4th one, to increase its consistency a bit more. You could also choose the epiphany that turns this card into a skill to avoid drawing it when you're using Prepare to Subdue. Freezing Blade seems simple at first glance. It does a bit of extra damage after activating a card with Inspiration, but in reality, its epiphanies allow Yuki to do a bit more AoE damage with an additional attack, directly increase her AoE damage or further increase Yuki's consistency, which is always welcome. Iceberg Cliff is just one of her best sources of damage, even if it works in a weird way. I'll explain more about that in a moment. And finally her echo skill, Skycrapper Cliff, does massive AoE damage that only gets better the more Yuki cards you have in your hand, with the added effect of moving those cards to the top of their draw pile. This is an excellent option when you have a card or 2 that hasn't activated its inspiration effect and you have other draw cards in your hand. Her best seasonal card right now is Aggressive Mutant. Its effect is similar to Prepare to Subdue but enhanced and it has exhaust. And her best seasonal equipment is Chimera Knight. It gives Yuki a 35 damage increase on her attack cards whenever she uses an ability to draw for 1 turn. Her first basic card proficiency node adds inspiration effect to her basic cards. Her other main nodes aren't really worth it at the moment, but if you want to squeeze out a bit more damage, here are their descriptions. If you really want to increase her damage, I recommend leveling up her basic card upgrade and unique card upgrade nodes, because unlike the main nodes, the damage increase on this is multiplicative. I personally went for the 4-piece set that increases the critical damage of 1 cost cards because those pieces had the best substats. but in reality her best option right now will be to use a 2-piece attack set, a 2-piece crit damage set, and a tier 2-piece set for whatever you want, as this doesn't restrict her damage to a specific card type. The main stats you need are crit chance on piece 4, order damage on piece 5, and attack on piece 6. Okay, here comes one of the most controversial aspects of Yuki, her first dupe. It basically removes a debuff that was intentionally placed on Yuki's special card. Since this debuff is multiplicative, the damage increase is actually considerable, but people are upset about why that card needed to be nerfed in the first place. Anyway, I'm sure the devs are listening to the feedback and I don't think this will happen again, or at least not anytime soon. Her second dupe is a nice quality of life improvement, making all inspiration cards that fall into her hand in the first 2 turns immediately activate their inspiration effect. Her third dupe slightly increases the damage of her echo skill for every card discarded. Her fourth dupe increases her overall damage when she draws her cards through other cards, increases the level of her cards by 3, and her 6th dupe enhances the effect of the 4th dupe. As for her teams, Yuki actually has a lot of possible options. You can run her with Nia, who I think is her best in slot and the queen of this season. Cassius controls your deck without any problems, maybe even better than Nia. Veronica has a very useful card that draws cards from other combatants, making it easier to find Yuki's cards. Burial, I think you are starting to see a pattern here, has a great card for quickly drawing cards from outside the draw pile. Even Rei, since she has a snack time epiphany that lets you wait until you use Yuki's echo skill, put her cards into the draw pile and then pull them out instantly with snack time. Plus, Rei will send the damage of her basic and double hit attacks through the roof. There are other more complex teams, like Mika and Cassius, where Mika gives AP to Cassius so he can easily search for Yuki's cards, or teams that only work well outside of the Chaos mode, like building Orlea to turn her into an AoE vulnerability support, which significantly increases Yuki's damage output. In conclusion, Yuki is a very strong character, but she's not broken. She needs a bit of help to reach those high damage numbers. But if you want a unit that's fantastic for farming stages, or if you are a collector like me, then definitely go for her. I know I should have made this kind of guide for Haru as well, but I didn't really play much with her since she didn't seem as appealing to me. But I might do one in the future, who knows. I hope you liked the video, and if you didn't, what are you doing here? Thanks for watching till the end.